Good Friday morning. The Delphi murder trial has started. Here are the opening statements.
See a new benefit for Amazon Prime members.
And see what foods have been recalled because of a listeria outbreak. Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
Good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Brooke Fallrad.
And I'm Joe Sawicki.
The Delphi murder trial started last week, and prosecutors are using video footage and an unused bullet as evidence that Richard Allen committed the murders.
The defense is insisting, however, that Richard Allen is innocent.
Carroll County prosecutor Nicholas McLeland said the video shows Allen commanding the girls to go down a hill, and out of fear, the girls complied. The girls were found at the bottom of the hill with their throats slit, and an unused bullet was discovered by the bodies. McLeland says that the bullet belongs to Allen's gun. Defense attorney Andrew Baldwin argued that any confessions made to law enforcement were made under duress and that his client is innocent.
Last night was the last Indiana gubernatorial debate. All three candidates participated, and the debate was moderated by Laura Merrifield Wilson, who is a professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis. Topics debated include guns, agriculture, the economy, education, and unions.
The Homecoming Food Truck Festival was on Monday, and food trucks lined the green by a Brown Amphitheater feeding students. But how exactly do they operate? Newslink Indiana's Dylan Chestnut was able to get an inside look at one.
Food truck operations can be chaotic, but the owners of Neighborhood Pizza Food Truck have it figured out.
Day-to-day operations is pretty much prep, and get ready until the show begins, you know? Every event is different, so plan for the most. Never get overwhelmed. Just take your time, breathe, and have fun.
Josh and Shannon Jones picked up this food truck during COVID, where they planned to serve pizzas.
Somebody came up to us and said, hey, I saw a truck, and it was for sale in Indianapolis, and we went to go look at it. It was actually during COVID. We didn't know if it was going to be that great of an idea to start.
But it would be a great idea. They transformed it into something unique, something of their own, with employees that understood the risks.
Mainly our family is our employees, so it's pretty much family-owned business.
Keeping the business and the family is an important aspect of their business, but this food truck is only a part of their lives.
We work both full-time. This truck fits in when it does, when we have the time for it.
Neighborhood Pizza Food Truck will be back at Ball State for Friendsgiving on November 20th, where they plan to serve around 660 personal pizzas. In Muncie, Dylan Chestnut, Newslink, Indiana.
Cardinal Friendsgiving will be from 4 to 9 p.m. on November 20th at Ball State's University Green. Now we're going to look at our first local weather with Gavin.
Yeah, thanks, Brooke and Joe. Little cold outside. Might want a pizza later tonight to warm up your stomach because it'll be a little chilly. 56 currently in Indianapolis, 53 in Muncie. Moving around a little bit today. 47 all the way up in Fort Wayne. So it's going to be a little chilly today. Looking at our out the door look for today, it's going to be really cold right now. 40 degrees, 49 going into 10 a.m., 12 p.m. Around bed race time, actually, for homecoming weekend. 57 degrees. We'll also see getting up to 60 degrees around 2 and 4 p.m. Now, looking at what we're tracking in my full forecast, we have homecoming, cool evenings, and cloudy days for my full forecast, so stay tuned for that.
Thank you, Gavin. Coming up, see yet another benefit you can get from being an Amazon Prime member.
That's after your weather now.
Welcome back. Amazon has a new benefit for their Prime members. Gas is going to be a little bit cheaper from them now. The e-commerce giant just announced it's allowing members to save 10 cents per gallon at the gas pump. That averages up to about saving $70 a year. Right now, gas prices are at their lowest, but analysts say the ongoing conflicts in the Middle East might change that, in which case this discount will come in handy. Members can buy fuel from any participating BP, Amoco, and AM/PM gas stations across the U.S. All they have to do is get the discount to link to their Amazon account from Earnify, a loyalty program by BP. It is a new perk of a laundry list of benefits for Amazon Prime members. The company offers discounts on anything from video streaming services to prescription drug savings.
The Environmental Protection Agency has issued stricter rules when it comes to lead paint dust in homes and child care facilities. Any level is considered hazardous now in EPA's new requirements issued Thursday. Even low levels of lead exposure can be unsafe and particularly to children. It can hurt brain development and cause long-term health complications. Even though lead is no longer an ingredient in paints, it is still found in older buildings and homes. The lead dust rules are part of a broader Biden administration effort to reduce lead exposure across the country, officials say. Now, it's been some pretty nice weather across the country this week.
I know, I agree. And I'm really looking forward to getting into the fall seasons and seeing the foliage across the country. So let's take a look at weather with Jake.
Thanks, Brooke and Joe. Looking at the radar here this morning, it's a very calm, slow morning. A little bit of rain here in the St. Louis, Muncie, Chicago area, but everywhere else is looking quite clear on the radar. As we look into the current temperatures here, down in Dallas-Fort Worth, it is 69 degrees. In Muncie, it is 53. In Los Angeles, 56. So Muncie might have nicer weather than Los Angeles. Just saying. If we look at the current wind chills as well, Bismarck is 22 degrees, and then down here, which you can't see right now, it is 66 degrees with the wind chill in Dallas-Fort Worth. So quite a wide range there between, there it is, and Dallas. So quite a wide range between Bismarck and Dallas, 44 degrees total. If you look at today's highs, Dallas-Fort Worth getting up to 89 degrees today. Quite warm for October 25th. Cincinnati 75, Los Angeles 66. Billings will reach 55. So quite a warm day in the south, quite a moderate day in the north. If we look at the current watches and warnings, though, you can see a frost advisory here in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. Right outside of New York, a frost advisory, and up in Buffalo with the lake effect, a frost advisory there. Also, a small craft advisory, so be careful taking out the boats early in the morning here off the East Coast. Down in Louisiana, a big fog advisory, less than a quarter mile of visibility throughout most of the state of Louisiana. As we head out to Denver, more frost advisory there, and a few freeze warnings here in northern Kansas and northwest Colorado. As we look now at Portland, again, frost advisory, a freeze warning right outside there, and a wind advisory out in Great Falls, Montana. So tie down your houses out there, make sure you don't lose them. Now this graphic here tells quite the interesting story. This is the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. If you look at the East Coast, there's a high probability that we will see above average temperatures. And on the West Coast, there's a high probability we'll see below average temperatures. So quite the wide range here. Obviously, it's been quite warm here recently for late October, and it looks like it will continue to stay that way. Looking at the drought monitor here, you can see a lot of exceptional droughts here near Columbus, Ohio, down here near El Paso in southern Texas, and also up north in Montana and Wyoming. Looking at the precision cast, you can see a little bit of clouds here on Friday morning as we move into Friday afternoon. A few more clouds will roll through. Saturday, a little cell will roll through now on Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday into the evening will be beautiful weather for some football. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of getting sick of the warm weather. I kind of want the fall weather, and it doesn't really look like it's going to be like that recently.
I agree, and you were talking about the wind in Montana. I know for me, walking into studio this morning, it was so windy.
It really was. And there was a little bit of rain, too. So, not enough to get us out of that drought warning, but a little bit of rain will go a long way, I'm sure.
It sure can. I mean, we definitely need the rain just looking at that drought. But, I mean, personally, I like the sunshine. I'll stick with these California temperatures.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's nicer than Los Angeles here in Muncie. So
I know I'm happy that it's going to be more warmer weather because I am not ready for the months of cold and bitterness. I do not want to deal with it.
And it should be nice weather for the tailgate, too. So hopefully
That's
not
true.
too hot, hopefully not too cold.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, thank you so much, Jake.
Of course.
Coming up, see how you're keeping your kids safe for breakfast.
That's after your weather now.
Welcome back. The time is 8:11 and you're taking a live look outside the Cooper Science Building. Be cautious before making any breakfast. Treehouse Foods has expanded its recall on frozen toaster waffles, Belgian waffles, and pancake products due to a potential listeria threat. The recalled products were sold nationwide and in Canada under several brand names. The FDA says no related illnesses have been confirmed. Listeria infections can be fatal for children and elderly, as well as people with weak immune systems. For others, the symptoms include fever and nausea.
A new preliminary report shows that fewer freshmen are enrolled in college this semester. Schools reported a 5% drop in freshman enrollment across higher education. That's the first decline since the pandemic. Four-year public and private nonprofit institutions reported the largest decline in freshmen. But according to the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, the overall number of undergraduates is 3% higher than last year. That figure is still below what it was in 2019. The National Student Clearinghouse Research Center represents about 52% of colleges and universities. The nonprofit organization expects to release its final numbers from more schools in January.
A large group of Muncie children had a run-in with local law enforcement this Tuesday, but instead of in the streets, they handled things on the basketball court.
On a beautiful autumn evening this Tuesday, members of the Muncie PD, the Delaware County Sheriff's Department, and the Muncie Fire Department all came together to play kickball and basketball with the Muncie community, thanks to an event hosted by the Southside Muncie Neighborhood Association. Courtney Marsh, president of the Southside Muncie Neighborhood Association, talks about the purpose of this event.
And it's just a way to encourage kids to come out and meet these individuals in a different way than what some of them might typically be introduced to them to. It's just a good way to come out and have a good time and have some fun.
Sergeant Amy Kessler, a member of the Delaware County Sheriff's Department, says that the Sheriff's Department looks forward to this event each year, citing its importance to not only the community, but also to the members of local law enforcement.
These community events that are put on by our wonderful neighborhood associations allow us to come out, kind of let our guards down. A lot of our officers won't be armed. We're in plain clothes. We're going to play basketball. We're going to interact with kids on a different level. And I think that's really important in today's society for them to see us as people and us to be on their level. And it's a beautiful thing.
The Neighborhood Association hopes that this event and others like it can be used to help forge relationships between the community and those that serve it. In Muncie, Eli Grasham, Newslink, Indiana.
This event is held annually, and the Southside Muncie Neighborhood Association hopes that this event can continue to build connections for years to come. Now, I don't know about you, but homecoming's tomorrow, and I am so excited. How are you feeling?
Me too. Homecoming is just such a fantastic time with all the alumni coming back, and there's amazing festivities all across campus. But I want to know more about that homecoming forecast, so we're going to toss it over to Gavin.
Yeah, thanks, Joe and Brooke. Homecoming weather going to be a little bit chilly. Obviously, this whole week we've had events going on, so it's been really up to date, but obviously we have that big game tomorrow. Current temperatures right now, 56 degrees in Indianapolis, 53 in Muncie, really cold up in Fort Wayne at 47 degrees. All the way Bloomington, 58 degrees, close to getting up into 60 degrees. So definitely a little bit warmer in some areas. Going into our viewing area and around Delaware County, obviously 53 degrees in Muncie. Farmland looking at 53 as well. 48 in Richmond, 48 all the way up in Marion as well. Portland getting up to 56 degrees which is pretty high for around this time of year. Here's our almanac from last night. Our low temperature was around 34 degrees, nowhere really close to our record of 19 degrees, all the way back in 1981. Our average low is around 43 degrees around this time of year. Looking at our radar, a little bit of rain going on, not a whole lot to worry about. I'm predicting it to go away around 12 o'clock or afternoon time frame, so we'll be pretty much in the clear for the bed races later in today. A little bit of rain, but nothing to worry about. Here's today's look at the temperatures. At 9 o'clock, around 51 degrees. Looking around those bed races in the noon time frame, 61 degrees, 65 at 5 o'clock approximately as well. Looking towards tonight, we're going to be completely in the clear, around 42 degrees, so it's going to be a little bit chilly. You might want a jacket if you're going out tonight, so I'd definitely recommend grabbing that because it's going to be a little bit cold. Looking forward to tomorrow, homecoming parade around 9 o'clock, going to be around 43 degrees, also a little bit cloudy. You might see a little bit of sunshine breaking through, but once we get around to kickoff around 3:30, we'll see a temperature around 56 degrees and that sun fully out for the day. So really cool temperatures, so obviously you want to make sure you have that jacket for tailgate and then obviously going into the football game. Look at our precision casts right now. Nothing really going on. A little bit cloudy in Muncie and Delaware County area. Literally going into Saturday, nothing going on for the game day. A little bit cloudy as I was talking about, but then that sunshine will break through, making the game day pretty visible for today. Also going into Sunday, not a whole lot going on as well. A little bit cloudy, but nothing to worry about. We are experiencing some droughts across Delaware County and across Indiana in a whole. Muncie, we're under a little bit of a dry and moderate conditions for that drought monitoring. All the way up close to Fort Wayne, we're experiencing a little bit of severe drought monitoring. So obviously, this can cause us to have a burn ban across a couple of different counties. The burn ban that we have for the variety of different counties is Grant, Madison, and Henry County. This is going to cause some restrictions on what you're able to do with outdoor fire sets and anything like that because fire could spread just because of the temperatures, and the soil condition is just so dry that you're not able to obviously burn anything because it's just so dry outside. Here's a look at a 7-day forecast. 66 is the high for today, and then going into Saturday, 58 degrees. Low on to Saturday, 35. But once we get later in the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, up into the 70s, it's going to feel really warm, almost like we're in May almost. So I think going into homecoming, I think we'll have some really cool temperatures, and I think it'll be awesome for game day.
I think it's beautiful weather for a tailgate, and I know I'm really excited to be out there. Do you guys have any plans?
Tailgate. Yeah. Trip. Tailgate and go to the football game afterwards. You gotta support the team.
Yeah, I like that we have extra time to tailgate tomorrow. Is at 3:30 instead of 2.
Yeah.
And so now we have the extra hour and a half to have more time to tailgate and more time for that fun weather enjoyment.
Yeah, and it's right around the time where temperatures are a little bit warmer than you know in the morning or in the late afternoon. So I think it's a really good time frame. You know,
that sun's just gonna be coming out just in time for the tailgate.
Exactly.
For sure. Yep. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for weather, Gavin. Coming up, see who we would think would make the best bed race team.
But that's after your weather now.
Welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Sophie Schick with sports. Since today is the annual bed race on Riverside Avenue, I've decided to give my all-time bed race team. But before that, let's go over the bed race rules. Rule number 1, each bed race team consists of 5 people, 4 pushing the bed and 1 riding on it. Rule number 2, teams compete against the clock, 2 teams at a time on a 100-yard course. Rule number 3, plaques are given to the first place team in each division. A trophy is also given to the team with the best costume and overall winner. But we are here to win big, so let's get into my all-time bed race team. First up, we have Haskola riding on the bed. His lightweight gives the team a strategic advantage for faster acceleration and maneuverability. With his engaging personality, Hasbulla will not only entertain the crowd, but also boost team spirit, making this event even more thrilling. Next, we have Shaquille O'Neal pushing from the back left side. His incredible strength and stability, he will provide a powerful boost right from the start. Shaq's larger-than-life persona will create an electrifying atmosphere, inspiring both the team and the audience. On the back right, we have DK Metcalf, a true powerhouse of speed and athleticism. His impressive physicality complements Shaq's strength, creating a dynamic force that will navigate the 100-yard course with ease. Together with Hasbulla's charisma, this trio is set to captivate everyone watching. Now bringing unparalleled agility and quick reflexes to the top left, we have none other than Jackie Chan. His renowned martial arts skills enhance the team's coordination and add an entertaining flair that will delight the crowd. And last, but certainly not least, we have Usain Bolt on the top right, the fastest runner in history. His explosive speed and incredible acceleration will ensure the team powers through the course efficiently. Paired with Jackie's finesse and Hasbulla's charm, this star-studded lineup is ready to not just compete, but truly entertain. After this legendary squad tears up the bed races today, they would definitely love to go to Saturday's homecoming football game in Schumann. And if they visit the tailgate beforehand, the bed race winners will certainly meet one of Ball State's biggest fans. Newslink Indiana's Jake Garcia has more.
Through 100 years of Ball State football, Schumann Stadium has welcomed a plethora of fans through its gates. But each game day, there's always one familiar face. Ball State alum Mark Lazar has been to 251 out of 464 Ball State home games to cheer on his beloved Cardinals.
My first home game was September 11th, 1976, my freshman year at Ball State. And I've been to every home game for almost 50 years now.
And over those 50 years, Mark Lazar realized what he was beginning to accomplish.
It was back in about the late 90s, and I was getting ready to come down for a week of tailgating. I thought, oh, you know, I've been to every home game.
His connection and love for the game are what will him to Schumann each fall.
Went to school here 4 years, always had a love for college football that my brother instilled in me. And, you know, after I graduated, you know, whether I was working or just coming down, always came down for the home games.
No matter what may have came up, Mark was always here. He even scheduled a surgery around the Cardinals season.
Okay, we got a home game here. I can do this. I get my surgery here. We got another home game in 3 weeks. And I won't have to miss it.
With 251 consecutive games down, Lazar's sights are set for as high as a number as he can reach.
I enjoy college football. Love coming down for Ball State games. Still will, you know, till I die, and hopefully I've still got a few seasons left in me.
In Muncie, Jake Garcia, Newslink, Indiana.
You know, good luck to all bed race teams today, but we all know who the real winners would be. Coming up, we've got your Breaking Down the Science, but that's after your Weather Now.
Welcome back. It looks like Crocs for dogs are a huge hit. The company sold out of the boots for pets in a single day. The new product launched as part of the company's Croctober promotion. The pet boots launched alongside matching clogs for pet owners as part of Croc Day on Wednesday. The doggy boots, which come in green and pink, were priced at $50. As of Wednesday evening, the glow-in-the-dark human clogs were still available online. Now, I'm going to take a look at what brings in those cold and warm weather fronts with Abby.
Thank you, Brooke and Joe. So yes, today we are going to be talking about fronts. Now, what exactly is a front? A front is a boundary that is between two masses of air. So now that we've kind of described what a front is, we're going to talk about what kind of types there are. So there are 4 types of fronts. We have a warm front, a cold front, a stationary front, and an occluded front. So what we're going to start off with first is going to be our warm front. So this is what typically it'll look like on a map. We have that red line with those semicircles underneath it. And typically with all of these lines, with these symbols, whatever direction they are pointing is where the front is going. So typically with the warm front, we have those warm airs moving from the south to an area of colder temperatures. Usually there we have clearer skies, nicer weather, something that you would typically see with the warm front. The second front we're going to talk about is going to be a cold front. So typically on a map, a cold front is going to look like this with this blue line here and these triangles. Again, wherever the direction the triangle is pointing is where the front is going. So usually the cold front is bringing colder air from the north to a place of warmer air. Typically with the cold front, we're going to see more active severe weather. I'll get into that a little bit later. With the stationary front, it's basically kind of a combination of the two. Typically, it doesn't move. That is why it is called stationary. So we'll have a lot of cloud cover with this, but nothing too crazy in terms of weather. The final form we're going to talk about is an occluded front. This is going to be very different from the last 3 I just talked about. Usually on a map, it shows up as purple, but I don't have a purple marker with me today that's bright enough, so we're going to do that with the black marker here. Usually an occluded front happens when a cold front matches up to a warm front. A cold front does move faster due to those gusty winds behind it, so it's going to pick up with this warm front that is moving kind of slower, and that way it'll create this up here, which is the occluded front. Obviously, and then when we talk about fronts, we're going to get into a pressure system. With a pressure system, you cannot not have fronts. So they usually typically move with a pressure system. And with those cold fronts, you see those lines of storms with that more severe weather, typically with hail and stronger tornadoes. So back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Abby. Now let's have our final look at weather with Gavin.
Yeah, here's a look at our 7-day forecast. A little bit chilly this weekend as we look at 58 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be really, really cold, so you're going to want that jacket for homecoming day. It's going to be really cold. But looking towards the rest of the week, going to be getting into the 60s, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we are getting up into the 70s, and it is going to feel like May, so you're probably not going to need that jacket later in the week. But looking at those late night temperatures as well, we're going to be in the 30s and 40s, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to have those 50s and 60s as well. So it's going to be really odd change in weather from the fall-like temperatures this weekend going into the week feeling like May. But I'm ready for homecoming.
That's going to be a really great weather for Halloween as well. It's going to be 70 on Halloween. That's crazy.
Usually we get cold on Halloween. Like, we have that 60 degrees, and then just the day Halloween hits, we drop down to 30, and sometimes even we get snow.
Right, yeah, I know. I'm from the Northwest, and I'm used to kind of starting to snow in more recent years on Halloween.
No, I remember there was one Halloween back home where it snowed, and I was like, why do I have gloves on with my costume? What is this?
Yeah, because then you have to put a coat over it, and it just ruins the entire costume.
It's very funny to see the coats over all the costumes.
Yeah, exactly. I know last year in Muncie, it rained on Halloween, so I didn't even attempt to go trick-or-treating. Yeah, it was awful. But thank you so much, Gavin.
Yeah, for
sure. That's all for Cardinal Weather this morning. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next week. Have a great rest of your Friday and a fantastic